It's time to play.
What were they talking about?
What were we talking about until my headphones came out?
That,
Oh my god. Can we not really not remember what we were just talking about? Okay, cool. Whatever. It obviously wasn't that important.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the inside track to beaches. So you went to a beach on the West Coast, and
That
I
is
went
correct.
to a couple beaches on the East Coast. So tell me about your experience.
I went to Newport Beach. Now, you've been here, right? Whenever you came to visit?
Yeah.
So, Newport Beach is one of the most popular beaches that are out there. It's a really rich part of the country, and it's a really big tourist spot. Now, having said that, I've got to tell you, the parking is atrocious. I had so much trouble. I drove around for about 25 minutes before I found a parking spot. Apparently, a lot of them have gone away with the coin or the card slot machines that you put in, and they are trying to make it app designated now, where you have a section that is numbered. You find your number, you log into this app, you put in your license plate number, and you pay through the app by the hour. And that way, I mean, it makes sense. You can sit on the beach, you can go, all right, we have 30 minutes left, I'll add another hour, and now I don't have to get up. I never have to leave the beach. I did manage to find one of those coin meters, but like an idiot, it was very bright outside, and this meter was very hard to see. It was clearly very old. I get why they got rid of them, because you're not able to read what it is that you're doing anymore. And apparently, I bought 8 hours worth of parking.
Oh my gosh.
At $1.75 an hour. And I was only planning on being there for about 2 hours.
How much did you spend?
Over $10 in parking. Now,
Holy crap.
you won't normally spend that much. That's just what an idiot does whenever he pays the max rate for no apparent reason. And that's just because I couldn't see what I was doing, and apparently that's one of the initial
Were you just throwing
options.
quarters in that sucker?
No, I swiped my card.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know you... $10 in quarters just laying around. Did
So-
you stay there the full 8 hours?
I did. I wound up staying a long time and just kind of explored the area of Newport and around the beach. So let's talk about the beach itself. The beach is nice. I mean, as far as commodities that are available to you around Newport Beach, there's a ton. There's restaurants, there's places to get just about anything you would need for beach supplies. And when I mention restaurants, anything you want to eat, be it burgers, pizza, nice, like fish or lobster or steak. I mean, there's a Mexican food restaurant. There's just about everything you can imagine right there. One of the other cool aspects about Newport Beach is they've got a bike track at the back of the beach, and it's a really long stretch. So you can come out there, you can rent a bike, or you can they even had family bikes. You know, those like 4-person bicycles that you can ride, and they also had those types of like Flintstones looking cars, you know, with like the roof and then like the bicycle underneath that.
And the stone wheels?
Well, it was led by a dinosaur.
Okay.
And that's just the old man that was riding the thing. So that's a really cool aspect of the beach. As far as the crowd level, there was a lot of people there. And Newport is always super busy. Now, what I'll add is that I actually went twice. And so what you'll see here is the crowd level at around 3 or 4 o'clock. It's very busy. And then what you can see here is this is early in the morning. This is close to 7:30 or 8 in the morning. The crowd levels are so much lower because it's so early that not a lot of the tourists want to get up. They're on vacation. It's mostly just locals who are surfing, people that are running and exercising, and the beach is almost empty. It's also very cool. It's very nice.
Yeah, because you're in California, that's why.
Yeah. So as a crowd level, I would say it depends on when you want to go. If you sleep in until 11, you're going to expect to see a lot of crowds. But if you can manage to get up early and get there just as the sun is coming up, one, it's a beautiful, kind of blue sky, and it's a little cloudy, but that's also kind of nice because it's just kind of chill. And then as the sun comes up, you've already got your nice spot on the beach right next to the dock and the pier.
So how would you rate Newport Beach?
One thing I'll add before I rate it, I found out from one of the locals that if you're a frequenter to these beaches, they actually have annual passes for around $200. So if you come to the beach a lot, you can park anywhere that's listed with an A, and I didn't really notice until I knew about it, but there are A's listed on the parking spaces. As far as convenience for restaurants and availability of commodities, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's one of the best spots where you can find things. Even up in Malibu, down in Laguna. Laguna has a lot of good stuff, but it's a bit of a walk. This is so close that it's super convenient. So that option is a 9 out of 10. As far as the crowd level, if you go in the morning, I mean, obviously a solid 8 out of 10. There's nobody there. It's not really a time when you want to be at the beach, but if you go in the afternoon, the crowd level, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because it's so packed. So packed, especially if you go on a Saturday. But, all in all, it's a really nice beach.
Cool deal. I went to 2 different beaches. The first beach that I went to is Cocoa Beach. I mean, Cocoa Beach is pretty well known for its partying and everything for spring break. I thought Cocoa Beach was going to be my spot. I'm new to the area, and so I visited Cocoa Beach every time I've wanted to go to the beach, and it's about 35 minutes from where I live. I get there, and the beach, it's really clean. Like, if I'm going to start my rating early, I would give the beach part of it an 8 out of 10 because it's really clean. It's obviously really well kept. The only bad side about like it being really kept is there's trash cans everywhere, and it kind of stinks. The second you get out of your car, it's like, oh, garbage. That's good.
And I would imagine they're not picked up that often because it's a beach, it's a public place. It's probably kept
I don't know.
Up by
like, every time I've been there, there's been people emptying the trash. Like every time.
Oh,
so
good.
I think they have good staff, but there's still like big dumpsters at every parking place. And I
apologize to Cocoa Beach for the assumption.
Yeah. No, their staff was great. Apart from the smell when you park. The parking, I had about the same scenario as you had, except it wasn't quite as crowded. Just like you had problems finding a meter that was coin operated. They had coin operated machines on some of them, but a lot of them they wanted you to use this app. And I tried to do it. I actually signed up to do this app. I don't even remember what it was called. It tried to get me to verify my number, and so it was supposed to call me, and it never did, and so the app never worked. I think I found some quarters and finally put it in. But so parking, I would give like a 2. Like it wasn't great. Like I said, the beach, it was beautiful, like super clean, not a single piece of trash on the beach itself. I've got a couple of pictures of the water, though. I was really surprised how green the water is. I went pretty early in the morning the first time, and in the afternoon, both shots. It's got some green water that I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. So, like, as far as
I would be disturbed by that, and I would be nervous to get in if the water had been green. It's like,
it wasn't like bright green or anything, but it was like murky. Being in the water in Cocoa Beach, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It was okay. It was okay. Oh, and the crowd level. It's summer technically, but it's kind of off season here because people are going back to school. There's not a lot of locals that go to Cocoa Beach, evidently. And in my total vision, I could see about 10 to 15 people. So not a lot of people there. Then I went to this other beach called Melbourne Beach. It's actually a town called Melbourne Beach. There's a town outside of Melbourne Beach called Melbourne. But Melbourne Beach was a really great spot. I ended up finding a place right on Ocean and Fifth Avenue that you don't have to pay for parking at all. Like you can't be there, I think, before 6 a.m. and after midnight, like the times that you want to be at the beach.
So they basically just don't want overnight people staying all the time there.
Yeah, and I don't know if they use that parking for the condos. Like there's condos right next to the beach, which I would love to live right off the beach. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't we all?
Yes. But then you get out on the beach, and there's a picture here of me on this little bridge that you walk up off of Fifth Avenue, and you look out, and it's a nice view, but you start to walk down to the water, and you can tell that it's obviously not as well kept as Cocoa Beach. It was, it wasn't terrible. I've been to South Padre Island during spring break, and it's nasty. And this was still, like, comparatively to that, I would still give the beach a 6. Now, you get in the water, and I got shoulder deep in the water. There's a couple pictures of me with my silly hat, but I got shoulder deep in the water, and I could still see my feet. It was that clear. Melbourne Beach definitely is my spot. I am 8 minutes from this beach, so it's fantastic for me. I would give this beach well overrated than Cocoa Beach.
For me, Newport Beach, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. Really, the thing that I think brought it down was that parking, and that's going to do it for all of it. I'm assuming it's going to do it for yours, too. Crowd levels also are going to drop it down some, but that really varies during the time. So overall, a solid 6 out of 10.
So I would give Cocoa Beach, obviously because of the parking issue and the water just not being the greatest, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's not great. There wasn't a lot of people there, but I feel like when there is a lot of people there, it's just going to be even more miserable. So I don't really have an interest in Cocoa Beach. Now, Melbourne Beach, despite its partly uncleanliness, I would still give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like it's a nice spot. So I've actually tried to get out there for the break of dawn 2 or 3 times now, and I've missed it. I've been out there as early as 5:45 in the morning, and still there was some sun peeking out before I could get my camera set up. I will get it one day.
Well, so you now know about 3 different beaches that you can check out on the East Coast and West Coast. So get out there and check them out. They're, we've pointed out the good things and the bad things, but it's still worth the drive out to see. Would you say so, Jordan?
Absolutely.
All right. So I don't know. Bye.